mixed foundations. I don't know why, because this is the day I need to film so many things. My camera keeps failing. I'm going to go in. I'm going to try to be as fast as I can so it stops failing. I'm going to use the Revlon Photoready BB Cream Skin Perfector, and I'm going to mix that actually with my Cover FX Blurring Primer, which is this one right here. And this is probably one of my favorite primers, but I used the BB cream yesterday as a primer, and I thought it was just awesome. I know that sounds really goofy, but I'm going to try anyways. So let's apply that on the face. Sorry I look so ridiculous. I'm trying to hurry because my camera is literally failing like every 1 minute. So I'm trying to get as much as I can in each minute. So I'm actually going to take some of that BB cream and use it to kind of sharpen up the edge of my eyeshadow. I'm going to take it like this, because I don't need a flawless line, but this actually creates a reasonably good line. Can you see that? I actually kind of liked this smoky look though, now that I've cut it. Dang it. Now I'm going to add a little more of that under my eyes because they're looking very tired today. Very, very tired. So I'm testing that pre-mixed concoction. And then I'm going to test another pre-mixed concoction. Actually, maybe I should just do one today. I'm conflicted. I'm deciding, do I want to mix the two of these, which is what I've been doing lately, or just one or the other? I think I'm going to mix them. And I just realized I'm going to have to go dampen my beauty blender because it is not wet. Darn it. Okay. Oh, my hubby said, I love you, baby. Okay, so I have dampened my sponge, and I'm going to use, this is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Liquid Mousse Foundation. This is in the shade 101 Porcelain Ivory, and I'm taking about this much right here, and I'm going to mix it with the Tarte Shape Tape Matte Foundation. This is the Double Duty Beauty, and I think the shade I got is just slightly too light for me right now because I haven't got enough summer sun yet. And I'm going to mix them together. Whee! It's kind of funny because they have different consistencies. So the mousse has a very thicker consistency than the Tarte Shape Tape does. Then I'm going to apply some of that to the face. My watch is beeping at me. It says, let's roll. Thinks I've been sitting too long, which is probably about right. So I'm just going to keep moving that around the face, getting as much as I think I need. Ta-da. Isn't that just pretty? Not really. Okay. I'm going to kind of smear it out first onto the face so I don't take up so much of the product, because a beauty blender kind of can soak up some of the product, even though it creates a very skin-like finish. So I'm going to first mix the foundation onto my skin. Gosh, we're a little bit thick on that side. That's okay. That's the rough side today anyways. So then I like to get close to my brow and kind of smooth it down so I don't have an awkward line. I'm just kind of smoothing it as best as I can. And then I'll go in with my beauty blender, dragging it on the side of the face, under the eye. So now I'm going to take that beauty blender, and we are now going to make it look much more skin-like. And just in case you don't know, I would assume that most people do know, but I didn't when I first started using these. A beauty blender is supposed to be damp. So you are supposed to actually dampen the sponge before you use it, and then you wring it out and let it have a more, I mean, there's a reason they call it sponge. I'm going to flip to the other side around my nose, and then back to the flat side on my head. And I'm not dragging it, I'm just kind of jumping it basically. I'm pressing it in, and I don't know what it is about these sponges, but it really does change the look of your foundation. If you get too much on your forehead with this though, like I can see that I have a little too much on mine, and I don't really know if you can tell in the camera, then you can smear it a little more. Because I think I got the mousse, there's more of the mousse consistency on my forehead than there is the Tarte. And sometimes foundations don't mix well. So I've been trying this the last few days, and so far I've been liking it, but today we're going to put it to the test. Especially because I'm going to go shoot a bunch of video today. If my camera, works and likes me. Then I'm going to drag it down my neck, actually dragging. I just want to make sure that's blended, even a little bit on your ear if you'd like. You just really want to make sure there isn't a line that says that's where her foundation ends. You can even drag it into the hairline a little to make sure you don't have that line as well if your hair will be up. Sometimes I put it in between my eyeshadow and nose to kind of blur that line as well. You don't want to take off the eyeshadow, but you want to make sure you don't have a drastic line that says, this is where my eyeshadow ends. You want it to kind of blur together. So then I'm going to go over the top with, this is the Elizabeth Arden Ceramide Skin Smoothing Loose Powder. This is in the shade 1 Translucent, and it is my favorite powder as of recently. I flippin' love this stuff. And sometimes I actually do use this puff inside to pick up the powder that's already like poofing out, because there's already some on the sponge, and I use that to kind of dab it down, and then I'll take a brush to smooth it out. And this kind of packs the powder in, and this helps if you are an oily girl kind of like me, but this also helps to actually give it that skin smoothing effect that it's aiming for. So then I'm going to just keep pressing that around. This creates the much more matte. We just went from somewhat dewy to completely matte in seconds. Alright, I'm going to set that down, and then I'm going to take, this is the Aesthetica P12 brush, and I'm going to take just a tad on it and tap it into this, and then I'm going to just kind of go over everything I just laid down and smooth it out so there's nothing excess. Down my neck a little, over the nose, and around. Now I didn't use a concealer on my under eye today just because I'm going to be doing, I'll use a little bit of powder, but I personally, my under eyes, like they seem to crease significantly more when I use concealer on my under eye. And I think that that's sad because I love the brightening effect, but then I find myself looking much older because they just sinks into my lines, and I am yet to find, I haven't tried a ton of concealers, so I need to do like a concealer video of trying to find ones that don't crease. But I'm on the hunt to find either something incredibly hydrating and then something over the top, or a concealer that does not crease on my eyes. So any suggestions, comment below, please and thank you. So that'll be the review that I'm going to do today, and so I will just finish up the look and come right back.